Our health won't be super low, but let's just see how it goes. Ooh, wow. That... Holy shit. What the hell? This is Dragon Scorch. This is Dragon Scorch in the lead. What? This is so much damage. Was that 2 million? What the fuck? Okay, what you just saw was footage from the second loadout in this video. The first part of this video is just going to be kind of a regular showcase loadout, just a typical totally rocking out build, seeing the Dirge song in its natural habitat. It should also be noted that the first build that I show in this video is really showcasing just how well the Dirge song can do, kind of on its own with a general build. And the second part of the video is really a loadout that is taking advantage of some quirks with the 6 perk that these weapons have, meaning the black metal set as a whole. So the second part of the video, the clip you saw in the beginning, is going to showcase some really, really good damage, but it's not necessarily coming from the Dirge song, it's coming from its 6 perk. The second loadout is something that was suggested to me in the chat, using a little trick with hero ability damage, making the Dirge song do way more damage than I ever thought it would. That'll be timestamped down below. I know the first part's going to be a bit long. It's going to basically be its own video. So if you guys want to skip ahead to that, which I highly recommend doing, you can check it out there, or you can just let the entire video play out, whichever one you prefer. Hello friends. As of recording this, the Dirge song should be available in the shop, or has been for a little while now, so I figured it'd be fun to take a look at the weapon. So, the Dirge song is a burst SMG, not a pistol, that does, 8 shots in a round? 9 shots in a round, which is actually pretty decent single target damage, and it also has that fancy little black metal 6 perk where you reload and hurt yourself, which I don't love. I'm going to be changing this to the 44% damage to nature enemies, and we're going to be running a power level 160 mission with nature enemies. So, obviously we got fire on this thing to do more damage to those targets. You don't typically want physical against elemental zombies anyway. I'm going to do a crit ready double crit damage just for the most boring basic perks ever, and I swapped the extra damage with missing health to reload, because I want to just get right back into the fight, and with a 1 second reload time, that is really, really fast. As for the loadout, we're going to be doing a basic totally rockin' out build. We have Beetlejuice in the lead, and I could have been running Sledgehammer in the lead because it's still an SMG, but I figured Beetlejuice would just be a bit more fun. She has more ability, diversity. Seismic Smash, Teddy, Phase Shift, all of these are very fun. Typically, I prefer Ranger Deadeye, but I want to get that extra crit damage because we're running Totally Rockin' Out, which is activated through Battle Beat and Fumble. Again, a different tweak that I'm making that you might want to change is I'm not using wafers. I don't like to switch off to wafers to activate it. It's not a big deal. It's just a personal preference, so that's just what I've gone for. I am using Assault damage in support, though, because actually, I'm wondering, because typically soldiers have more health, but I have max supercharged Ranger Deadeye, so does my health go up or down? It does seem like it actually went down. So because they're both giving me the same 17%, I'd rather use the hero that gives me more health. But I am losing shield. It's not that big of a deal. These are minor tweaks, and I figure it's not going to make a big difference because we're also running coconuts, which will keep me very, very healthy and give us an extra bonus damage. And I'm having a bit of fun. I'm using Wukong again. I've gotten on a Wukong kick. I use him on my pop shot build as well. I don't know why. I'm just having fun with him. But this weapon does struggle with AoE damage, so this will help hit more enemies all at once. Maybe it won't make a difference. I'm not sure. Better alternatives might be Assault Ammo Recovery, which will make it so that you don't have to reload as often. You got Locked and Reloaded, which is going to be active a lot because it takes us 1 second to reload, which would be a nice damage bonus. So there are potentially better options, but I'm going to stick with explosive rounds just for a little bit of fun because it's not that big of a deal. What has also been recommended is First Shot Rio. First Shot Rio gives you a 100% chance to crit for your first 6 shots. And considering this weapon has a 1 second reload, you could be reloading, doing at least 6 guaranteed crits, followed by 3 normal hits, and then just reloading after every single burst. But that is a lot of reloading, and I'm not really sure if that's exactly how I want to play. I might record a little bit at the end of this video to check that out as well, but this is the build I'm going to be going with for this video. So yeah, let's just check out the Dirge song. All right, going up against the Mist Monster with nothing active. Honestly, pretty decent damage. Again, this is not anything active. So there's no coconuts, no Totally Rockin' Out, no anything boosting this damage. This is basically just how the weapon performs. 9 bursts. It's kind of satisfying, not gonna lie. So let's do this. Pop a coconut, boost the damage against some nature enemies, and you can just see how much more damage it does. That's actually really good. Once you get those bonuses kicking in, it's nice and powerful. I think I'm gonna have a good time. This might be a nice little opportunity to showcase why I've been enjoying Wukong so much, because if I can get a nice little explosion on this, or not, was that the explosion damage? That was not that much. Like, I'm pretty sure it just kicked in. Huh. I figured it would be really good for helping clear out smaller crowds of zombies, but that doesn't seem to be exactly how that's working out. And this is kind of why I've never loved the Dirge song, is because if the enemies are spread out like that, it can be kind of annoying trying to hit each of them individually, and you waste a lot of ammo considering that it shoots in a 9-round burst. It's not like a normal SMG where you can just put as many bullets into the target as needed to take it out. You need to constantly be reloading after 4 shots, no matter what you're shooting at. 9 bullets is a quarter of your mag, and then it's just gone. And that's also why I didn't run assault ammo recovery, by the way, is because even though you can save ammo on that, okay, all right, that explosion did some damage, it still makes it weird where you're saving ammo, so now you're only shooting like a 3-round burst. It divvies up your ammo kind of weird because you can shoot not your full 9 shots 4 times. Then you end up with like some weird leftover amount of ammo where you're only shooting 5 shots and then it's gone. I don't love doing that, so I figured I'd stray away from that. But all right, let's see. Coconuts against a Smasher. Not the most impressive showing. I understand totally rocking out is not active right now, but that's totally rocking out for you. It's not always active. So obviously the wafer might have done a better job there, but not the most impressive amount of damage. It seems like a very average weapon, which is nothing new. I feel like I've known this forever. It's not a new weapon by any stretch of the imagination. So I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. That'll be, I figured it would be active more often, and now that I think about it, I don't really know why, because it's not exactly doing a ton of crowd clearing, but ooh, okay. Here we are with some more nature friends. Get them all grouped together. Maybe Wukong can do a pitiful amount of damage. That was not that good. It's almost like he'd be better if instead of an explosion radius, it applied to like every nearby zombie. I don't know what kind of programming that would require, but yeah. And because of the way this weapon performs, like I said, shooting in bursts makes me not even want to interact with these zombies. When everybody's standing apart, one baby zombie takes 9 shots to kill, which is a waste of ammo, and I don't like doing it. And sometimes when that explosion does hit targets, it doesn't even KO. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm gonna head over to the defense and see how this does when the waves begin. You know, I ran over to the defense and found an encampment to take care of, and I'm just gonna go ahead and struggle to do that. One of the reasons I actually like running Beetlejuice is because of the Teddy, which is gonna be useless as long as we have nurses alive. Oh no. Oh no. If we can't kill a single nurse, oh, that's not gonna be good. That's not gonna be good. All right, Seismic Smash. There we go. I actually ran a Seismic Smash build lately just to showcase Wukong, or not Wukong, it was Ragnarok. It's not the strongest loadout in the game, but the ability is actually quite good, and that's something I always say with, oh wow, I was not looking at my health. That's something I always say with Seismic Smash, where it's actually pretty decent damage output, but as a loadout, it's not exactly gonna be doing all of your damage, but still pretty good on its own. Like a build like this, where I actually have nothing in my loadout boosting Seismic Smash specifically, and it still does enough damage to actually be useful in game. So it's a really good ability on its own, just maybe not an entire loadout. Look at that, we got a floating tree. If anybody was curious what the underside texture looks like, that's what it is. We're sneaking up, we're sneaking up, we're sneaking up. Pow! Oh, thank goodness I got that Shadow Shard. I really needed that. Can I stand on the tree, you ask? What a fantastic question. Ugh. You can. You can mantle onto it too. All right, hold on. All right, let's see. Let's see. Oh, look at that! This is like in Minecraft, where a block is floating that shouldn't be floating, and then you get kicked for flying. I love it. This is gonna be how I get up to the top of the base now. Ah! Okay, maybe this is a little bit more robust. I love it. All right, sorry for the background noise. I do have a fan running, but it is really hot in my room. And apparently we're starting with minimal traps. So, you know, starting with minimal traps has never been... Oh my god. This is not gonna cut it. This is not gonna cut it. Ah! Rethink the strategy. Back off. Okay, all right. This is where I think the 6 perk might have been a mistake. Damage to nature is typically recommended, but that explosion damage is really, really important on an SMG that doesn't natively have crowd clearing. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. That also does absolutely nothing against the physical mist monster. We're going into combat. Here we go. Okay. All right. This is disappointing, actually. This is bad. This is really bad. This is honestly how I felt about the Dirge song for a while. I had a few commenters defend this weapon starkly, and I know my loadout might not be perfect here. I don't even have totally rocking out active, but yeah. In fact, on that note, I feel like we should be putting down just some traps, just something down on the map, just to have some damage happening. For a second there, I figured I was gonna put it above somehow, or from above. There we go. There we go. All right, all right. I couldn't get the coconut off in time, but hopefully that'll be doing enough damage to keep it active. It's only supported by one wall right now, which is not ideal. Should I heal myself or let a wall come in for the clutch? Oh, wow. Nice Guardian's Will. Link to that video down below. All right. Hopefully that's going to get enough kills to activate the team perk, and then we can be doing some meaningful damage output. That's the idea, at least. Pop the football. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Like, against a nature target, it's actually pretty good. And I'm going to put some more Seeing Electric down as well, just for helping the defense and, of course, getting that team perk active. And I'm hoping to focus on some single targets, because obviously the crowd clearing is not insane on this weapon, so we want to be focusing on what it's good at, and that would be one big target like a smasher. And Wukong is not exactly carrying that AoE. This build, man, I feel like I'm just disappointed. I wonder if this is a downfall of the weapon or the build, because I have been linked some interesting builds that could be a way of saving this weapon, and I might have to showcase that later on in the video. Let's do this right here. Oh, okay. All right, I guess I'm just gonna die instead. All right, the perfect setup. We're gonna eat a coconut, we're gonna eat a football, and then we're gonna go in and kill the smasher. Let's see it. Big damage, big damage. Almost half of its health in 1 minute. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is not my favorite thing. Nice little propane save though. Yeah. All right. Good job, Beast. On the ground again. All right, we're alive. We're back in the fight. Here we go. I don't know what to do. This weapon is not cutting it. This weapon slash loadout is not doing anything. I am very scared. I'm hoping we can get like a nature mini boss. You know, I could light up a nature mini boss. That would be the way to. Oh shoot. Oh god, no. Our fern is still alive, but is that a fern? Our tree is still alive, but I can't stay alive long enough to put down Sealed Electric Fields. All right, here we go. Here's the plan. Here's the plan. Here's the plan. All right. We go over here. We go over here. Okay. Got our wall down. One thing just like that. Oh, that's too low. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Just enough of these to do some extra damage. Sneak out. Did not get enough coconuts because I didn't realize how much damage I'd be taking. Okay, all right. Now we're going to be doing some meaningful damage output. Get that Toy Rockin' Out active, which it is currently not. Oh, that damage drop off is just terrible. And I'm dead. All right, what else is new? But I want to bully some smashers. All right, here we go. Here we go. This is it. This is my chance to bully a smasher. Oh, man. You know, honestly, I don't know what I expected. This is... Yeah, no, my teammate just killed it for me. Yeah, that I was that was not too impressive. All right, my traps from earlier are getting kills now, so I'm actually gonna have my team perk. All right, that's what I like to see. Get a couple of these down and bully a smasher. Oh god. Okay. All right. Revert. All right. No. Bring back Siphon and BR. Ah! Oh my god. All right. Maybe some headshots. Nice little impact. All right. Staggering backwards. No. Okay. We got him. We got him. This is just a struggle. I brought my jackal launcher and I feel like it's time. This is probably the better way to go. Although, then again, when is spamming a rocket launcher not the better way to go, you know? Maybe if you're trying to be cost-effective. Did we have a mini-boss? Oh, I must have been trap vulnerable. I completely missed it. Honestly, that's probably for the better. Considering I can't even solo a smasher, I don't think a mini-boss was anything I had any business dealing with. So, I think I'm going to mercy kill this mission and try out that other build that I was showing in the comments in Twitch chat. Twitch link down below if you guys ever want to be a part of these shenanigans. I'm going to just cut to that because that's when things might get a little more interesting. All right, we're on to part 2 of the video and probably the more exciting part because this is just the weirdest, strangest thing that I've encountered in a while, and it's not that crazy. So if you recall the Stormblade video on my channel, that video basically is exploiting the fact that you can crit a ton with the Stormblade and do a lot of explosion damage. I use the term exploiting, but it's a completely intentional mechanic. But the interesting thing is that explosion does 43 base damage, which... I don't fully understand this. If somebody wants to write me a book in the comments about how to calculate base damage and how this works, I would love to know, because what happens is your hero ability damage is something that multiplies that base damage. It's really, really above the shoulders crap, but you can see that the hero ability damage from Whiteout Fiona, minus 21.1, I've been supercharging her for this exact reason. That hero ability damage is what interacts with your base damage explosion. Now, this relates to the Dirge song because I have been recommended this loadout for the Dirge song. The team perk doesn't matter. I'm sticking to totally rocking out because whatever, but we want to be critting when we reload with first shot Rio, and we'll be reloading constantly because we're going to be activating that reloading causes the lowering of your damage. We'll show it in a second. And Dragon Scorch, mine just happens to be, not only does he have a very high base damage in general, but mine is supercharged. So it's 25.4, which is about as high as it gets, or as high as it gets. I'm not exactly certain. And apparently, I'm being told by Danny7352 in chat that, and I've been shown gameplay from their video, that I'll link that video down below if they'd like me to, that apparently that is an extremely high amount of damage. So I'm going to be using the exact same Dirge song as shown earlier, but it already has a copy with the reloading perk, so thank you to her, because I don't want to co-reperk this again. But this is the perk, where every single reload will be activating Rio and a guaranteed crit damage. It'll be lowering our health by 12.5%, and then it will deal 29 base damage or 132 base damage, or somewhere in that range, based on how much of our health is missing in a small radius. So that base damage is getting multiplied or interacted with the hero ability damage from Dragon Scorch, and it'll basically make for very big numbers. So honestly, this is something I haven't interacted with much personally. That's why I honestly don't even know how to calculate this. I'm not even certain what my damage output or DPS will be. I just want to throw it on and just show you guys how it performs. Thank you, Awalri. So we got our Dirge song. Thank you to her. We got our reloading reduces our current health and extra damage. So something that should be mentioned about the team perk is I originally wanted to use Blast from the Past, but Danny mentioned that I should be running not that, because the lower the health, the better. And yes, I do know that Totally Rockin' Out will be healing me, but we also don't want to die necessarily. And first shot Rio only buffs our first 2 shots. So our health won't be super low, but let's just see how it goes. Ooh, wow. That... Holy shit. What the hell? This is Dragon Scorch. This is Dragon Scorch in the lead. What? This is so much damage. Was that 2 million? What the fuck? Wow. Okay. So I intentionally didn't reload. Let's just, this is again, a fire copy. So it's not even fit. It's not even showing a health number. Whoa. Wow. It's not often that I'm speechless, and that's probably because more often than not, I'm showing you guys my loadouts that I fully understand. This is, wow. So you know how earlier I was complaining about the, you know, area of effect damage being bad? If you're just activating that explosion, especially with this build, that's actually crazy. I have my skepticisms though. Like, I'm not sure if Dragon Slash is the best, because I get it. The explanation in the comments from Danny is the fact that his ability damage is so high, especially since I have mine supercharged, that it makes that explosion crazy amount of damage. But I am not going to be the first one to point out, I'm sure, that I essentially have a dead hero. Obviously, I can use my Dragon Slash, and that's, you know, nice to have. I just made a whole video on Dragon Slash. Link to that down below. If it's out, it'll be linked down below whether or not it's public yet, but you should check it out regardless when it does go live. I know that the Dragon Slash can be good, but surely, like, a soldier in the lead might be better for overall damage output. Maybe Rio in the lead. I know her ability damage is not nearly as high, but it's still got to be good enough to make up for it. But then again, she's only buffing your crit damage. She has no interaction with that explosion damage, which, as you can see, is substantial. Again, if I could calculate base damage better, maybe a comment down below could help me clarify. Maybe I'll make a future video explaining what I've learned. But that explosion, that's clearly over 2 million damage. The Dirge song is not critting for 2 million damage. It's the explosion that's carrying all of that. So I'm going to respawn, take out this encampment, and see how well it can do against a bunch of fatties and shielders. One of the hardest encampments in the game. All right, we're coming back to the encampment. My last attempt was so pitiful that I just cut it out of the video completely. So we're just gonna pretend like this is number 2. I died right away. You missed nothing. It was awful. But this crowd clearing, oh my God. I'm still coming to terms with the idea that we're using Dragon Scorch in the lead. Danny has explained thoroughly that the weapon damage perks are only so much damage, and that his ability it doesn't even matter. You know, as I'm complaining about having a dead hero perk, I am annihilating an encampment with the efficiency of which I've only seen like a Xenon bow do. This is honestly astounding. The Dirge song is only one of the black metal weapons that can activate the 6 perk. Imagine this with the black drum. The black drum is already a shotgun so good that I recorded an extra recording in the video just like we did today. It was the first video where I did that. It might not be live on the channel by now, but I will link that down below, same as before. If it's not live, you should check it out when it is. That weapon did fantastic with just regular Totally Rocking Out. If I had that reloading, you know, cause an explosion 6 perk with the same situation going on, with a shotgun as strong as it already is, we might have uncovered something here. Damn it, Matteo! Stop dropping your shit in the middle of the defense! Ugh! All right, we can start the mission whenever you guys are ready. As soon as I told them I was ready to start, I forgot to grab coconuts. Honestly, these cornfields, though, are really, really good for getting bacon. Anybody who's seen... Oh, my God, I haven't plugged this in years. Anybody who's seen my How to Get Every Item video would know that these corn stock situations are fantastic for just getting bacon, coconuts, whatever. I will still link that video because it's still good. And it took me like 8.5 hours to make, and I decided to do that in one day. And it took that long with help. Okay, let's just see. Honestly... As much as I complain about Dragon Scorch, it is worth noting that Soaring Mantis is really nice. Oh my god. It is so much damage. That is a 250 power level. Wow. 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 It's honestly so powerful feeling to know that like any of these long range attackers, any of those gun blazers, just don't matter. As soon as they look at me, I can just one shot. And I think that explosion damage doesn't have any range decrease. Like the weapon damage is what... Oh, what the fuck? It's the weapon damage that has that range decrease, but like... Wow. I didn't realize that running coconuts on this build... well, I ran it because of Blast from the Past, but as we've mentioned several times, having low health is good. But as I've also argued, being dead is also quite unpoggers. So it's good that I have the AWOL medic because... I don't want to be dead all the time. We have minimal... Oh, let's see. 2 of them right next to each other. Because of that explosion damage, it's so good. The only annoyance is that you do have to reload every shot, but it's also okay because this weapon has a staggering... We only have one reload... We only have one reload perk on this weapon, and it takes 1 second to reload. That is one of the fastest reloads of any weapon I've ever seen. Oh my god. 2 throwing thoughts and a nurse and one kill. It's absolutely beautiful. This weapon couldn't even keep up with a nurse before, and now they're just getting right through the shielder. This shielder didn't even survive. They're just dead. This is almost like an exploit. It's almost like Epic doesn't realize how crazy ability-based damage can be, or the players are just not largely aware of this, because I know there are going to be some people in the comments who are well aware of this mechanic and have been for a long time. Hell, even I kind of knew this was a thing, but I did not realize it could be this powerful, because the explosion damage that you get from being low health with this weapon is huge. As you're seeing, we're hitting for millions of damage. Imagine if this was physical with like maybe a more refined loadout. Like I mentioned, my coconuts are probably being a dead perk here. Like with a more refined loadout, you could do some really solid damage. Like I think Swamp Knight actually does extra damage to miss monsters. If I'm wrong, maybe whatever hero does give you extra damage to miss monsters could be really, really strong against those bigger targets. I could probably solo a mini boss. I'm gonna ask my team if the mini boss isn't water, let me have it, because I would love to see just how strong this build can be against that, because I'm sure it would not have any trouble whatsoever. Is having shield very important in this build? I mean, I guess, since our health is going to be low all the time, but I just ran Totally Rocking Out. I honestly considered, you guys might have been noticing that as much as I'm complaining about Dragon Slash build here, I am using the Soaring Mantis a lot, and I actually largely considered running Mantis Sleep in this build. This could be a build where, because you kind of want to use this ninja, Soaring Mantis might actually make perfect sense, because I mean, it's really nice to get around the map nice and easily, and because you're constantly riding the line of being dead and, you know, super low health, you know, being dead and barely alive, it could be worth noting that one-shotting, it could be worth noting that using Soaring Mantis to just dodge out of combat and get back to safety real quickly could be a nice way to just, you know, stay alive. Look at that damage! This never gets old! This never gets old! I cannot wait to get up against the mini-boss. I am really, really enjoying this build. Somebody in chat asked what's the perks for that, and this is the most interesting thing about this video. It almost doesn't matter. It almost doesn't matter. I mean, of course, the perks make a difference for sure, but this build is really just taking complete advantage of the 6 perk on the weapon rather than the actual weapon perks themselves, and it is substantially more damage than I would have expected. All right, our first smasher of this section of the video, and I'm dead. Hopefully we get some more smashers to shoot at because I would like to really see what this thing can do. So let's just take out a Zappy Face, which is honestly surprisingly still alive. I did not expect it to survive all that because sometimes that initial explosion doesn't one-hit KO the target. And that's part of the reason I liked using Totally Rockin' Out over Soaring Mantis was because, whoa, I did not realize I still had a damage bonus there. It's because sometimes you don't kill, and those extra 7 shots in your burst are what can pick up the slack. And look at that damage. It's so good. Yeah, you definitely got to reload to activate it, but let's see. Oh, there we go. We got another smasher. No, I'm dead again. Just looking at the smasher kills me. They're too strong. All right, I'm not going to have my low HP. Well, maybe not right away, but let's see what we can do here. Okay, got about a quarter of the health. I'm weaker now. That's about half the health, and I need to stop getting myself in dangerous situations. That is honestly pretty impressive. Like, that didn't kill the smasher nearly as much as I would have hoped, but if I had lower HP and, you know, not so much of a tendency for dying, maybe I just like it when a Walry hovers her hand over me, you know, maybe that's just what I'm doing it for, but I would also like to do some damage to the smasher. Yes, it's a nature smasher, let's see. Okay, all right, so that's kind of the upper limit of this weapon. You constantly have to reload to output that damage, but this is, mind you, this is a tank smasher. Tank smasher. Mini bosses really don't get a whole lot stronger than this. So even though that health damage might not look substantial, this is a huge amount of damage output. I cannot understate that we are currently shooting at basically the strongest mini boss that can exist, unless it was smokescreen or trap vulnerable, but that's cheating. That's cheating. This is a tank smasher. They don't get bulkier than this, and that's, you might notice that the actual explosion is only doing like a little less than 2 million. That's what the tank is doing. So tank doesn't actually increase the health of a mini boss. It actually increases its damage resistance. Tank mini bosses basically have like an armor perk and support. That's basically how armor works, where Prehistoric Iza gives you armor, and so does Bomb Squad Kyle, and they don't make you have more health, they just make you take less damage. So that might have looked like I was doing, well, I was technically doing less damage than usual, but still, I got a little bit of teammate help there, but just shredding the mini-boss. That is amazing. It's not the fastest mini-boss kill we've ever seen, but they don't get a lot stronger than that. Holy crap. It is not often that I get, like, blown away by a build, but this has been, I was highly skeptical to the extent to where I felt I might have been a little rude, and that's, I think that's important. As a person who's been covering this game for a long time, and as somebody who would consider myself an expert on the game, I get recommended stuff often that rarely is a build that really impresses me, but every once in a while, somebody shows me something that yeah, this happened with the Stormblade build too, where I knew Stormblade was good, but I didn't, I guess, fully appreciate how good it could be. And Joshy went to all that effort. He made that whole spreadsheet and calculator to really, really work out like the best optimal build for that weapon. And it is one of my favorite builds. I run it all the time. And this is a very difficult build to use. I don't know if this will be my new personal favorite because I spend half the time dead. That's more of my own faults rather than the build itself, but still, like, wow, 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 wow. This is amazing. Hey, look at that! It's my turn to heal, or Aura can do it. That's fine too. You know, here I finally thought I'd be able to hover my hand over a wall raid for 10 seconds while she heals. But no, I think I've died like 10 times in this game, and I just am not looking at my health. It doesn't help for the fact that I am constantly lowering my own health either, but either way, this build has been insane. I'll see you guys later. Check out the next one. Thank you, Danny, for the suggestion. This is insane. Take it easy and yeah, get some ice cream. And then